Silence of the Lambs celebrates its 30th anniversary this year. And if you're a fan of Silence of the Lambs like I am, very soon we are going to be able to do something very cool. This right here is the house that was Buffalo Bill, the serial killer's house, in the movie. It's going to be open to spend the night in. This is Chris Rowan.
How you doing?
He is the new owner of Buffalo Bill's house, and he's in the process of turning this house into a place that you can stay overnight. There's going to be overnight accommodations, on-location filming, guided tours, and it's just overall the ultimate filming location destination.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it. You guys coming out and checking out the house.
Yeah. So he is actually letting us go inside and take a look at the filming locations and tour the house. So let's go do that.
Come on in, we'll show you around. Welcome to Buffalo Bill's house. The home is a beautiful 1910 Queen Anne Victorian home here in Perryopolis, Pennsylvania. You can check us out online at buffalobillshouse.com for further information, as well as Facebook and Instagram at Buffalo Bill's House. Come on in. You guys might look very familiar at this very front door, right? This is where Jodie Foster's character, Clarice Starling, meets Ted Levine, Buffalo Bill, for the very first time. And she knocks on the door, and he comes to the door.
Good afternoon. Sorry to bother you. I'm looking for Mrs. Lippman's family.
No, Lippmans don't live here anymore.
I just took my photo, like Buffalo Bill answering the door, and I'm geeking out a little bit.
So come on in. Welcome.
Is it like the most exciting thing that just on a regular basis you get to open the door?
I'm not gonna lie. Like opening up the door and thinking about, Clarice and Buffalo Bill, at this very location, it hasn't gotten old yet. If you take a look around, you'll notice this foyer. The first main sequence of their interactions were shot here.
Mrs. Lippman had a son, or maybe he could help you. I got his card in here someplace. Do you want to come in while I look for it?
May I?
Yes, sure.
Ted Levine invites her in and lures her into the spider's web, if you will. I read an article a while back that Jonathan Demme selected this house because he loved the long visual of being able to span through multiple rooms, and he kind of related it and called it basically a spider's web. He imagined Buffalo Bill luring her in. We have our Hannibal Lecter animatronic in the corner here, which is super fun, and I think everyone's going to enjoy as people who visit.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Closer, please. Closer.
So he'll kind of meet you when you walk in, and he's sensor based too. So when you're not expecting it, he's going to get you pretty good. And kind of have our the home's namesake position on this really awesome 4x6 rug. Of course, Ted Levine mid tuck, if you will.
Between the rug and the actual animatronic.
Yes.
It's like what an entrance,
Thank you, I appreciate that. Came with the house as an original copy of Thomas Harris's novel of Silence for all our fans to read. They cuddle up with a good book and see where the movie came from. And this piece is super awesome. This is an original 1991 theatrical piece. This was never for sale. It was only issued to movie theaters to promote the film. Of course, it's got Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal in a prison setting. And before I purchased it, it was never out of the box. Sat in storage for 30 years. So I think it's a perfect thing to welcome in the fans, and also some cool photo ops. Follow me this way. You come on into the dining room. Here in the dining room is where the sequence was shot, where Jodie Foster, playing Clarice, interrogates Buffalo Bill. He's standing right here at this china cabinet, and there's a little station here. He's fumbling through some business cards and things of that nature.
We bought this house 2 years ago.
She's kind of soaking it all in and seeing what's going on, and right in a sewing station in this region, she sees the famous death's head moth, of course.
Her the safety off her gun, I think, is what she does, because she knows.
That's at that moment she realizes she's in Buffalo Bill's house, and she draws her gun on him.
Please.
Put your hands on your head. Put your hands in the back. Thumb
And he escapes into the kitchen.
This is the actual cabinet that he gets into looking for business cards. It's so neat that is part of the house and it's still here today.
On the stove right here, this is where Buffalo Bill kept his .357 revolver. He retreats, he grabs his pistol, and makes his way into the kitchen and passes on by to, of course, the famous Basement of Horrors. It's the original door, which is super cool. Like most of this house is all period correct from 1910. And what I find really, really cool about this doorway, if you could get this here, is that the original homeowners, when they shot this here in 1990, before it was released in 1991, the production crew deemed kind of like a drab olive green to be the color for Buffalo Bill's house kitchen. They did ultimately put the wallpaper back up for the homeowners at their request, but as a nice little memento, they kept the original production color utilized. It's the last bit of it that remains in the house. So it's a nice kind of cool reminder that Buffalo Bill was here some time back. And we can go right on down the stairs, and in this sequence there are cuts in the movie where you'll see Jodie Foster coming down with her gun drawn, looking to Buffalo Bill's lair. You see her come down, gun drawn, walking into his Basement of Horrors, and she makes it to somewhere right around here, and then there's a cut, and then the rest of the sequences, the famous well and the workshop. Those unfortunately were not shot here at the house. Full disclosure, those were shot on a soundstage elsewhere. But I do have some really big plans for the home. As a lifelong horror fan and a huge Silence fan myself, I plan to do some recreating of those sets to provide people with some unique photo opportunities. So right around here, I'm looking to recreate Buffalo Bill's Workshop of Horrors. You know, this is the sequence where you see him sitting at his sewing station. I've already secured a very vintage Singer sewing station that's period correct. And all the dressing mannequins and uniforms. It's going to be much more elaborate than this. This is just going to be kind of to get my creative juices flowing. Going to hang the disco ball that he has, and he has all the female forms in kimonos and avant-garde dresses and stuff like that. The back wall, he has the American flag with his murder spree, newspaper clippings that he's super proud of, kind of displayed on the back. And I think this will be just a really fun place for people to come and have an immersive experience, get a photo op. And definitely all the fans have been asking, are we going to be able to do the dance? You can get your tuck on, you can have a good time. We're going to have Q Lazarus, Goodbye Horses queued up for everyone to enjoy on a little Bluetooth speaker. So come down, get your tuck on. You stay at Buffalo Bill's, have a blast. And I got one more recreation to show you guys. We'll go this way. So in this part of the house, this back in 1910 when it was built, coal was how the home was heated. So this is the actual coal cellar. So they would shovel the coal in, and that's how you'd heat the home. But there's a perfect kind of ready to go area that I think is going to be an awesome spot for the famous well.
Oh yeah, I can definitely picture the well being in here. This is gonna be a really cool photo op. They're getting the upstairs bedrooms ready for overnight accommodations, but one thing that already is ready is the bathroom. Check out this shower curtain. That is amazing. And there's a beautiful stained glass window in the bathroom also. Not only is the house beautiful, but I just have noticed touring it that there are so many just little amazing touches of art and Silence of the Lambs references.
So here at Buffalo Bill's house, I think we have a pretty unique concept going. We're utilizing the wall space in Buffalo Bill's to kind of showcase local artists who have done silence-inspired artwork, and other horror-inspired artwork. Some of the pieces that we have, like this one right behind me, is an awesome piece of Ted Levine as Buffalo Bill, and a bunch of others that we have. We have some avant-garde pieces like The Silence of the Cats, and a great one of watercolor of Buffalo Bill mid-dance. And we have a real death's head moth that I had commissioned from a taxidermist out in Russia, which was super cool.
You can actually see like the outline of the skull on it.
There's just a lot of cool things that you can put on the walls here, and I think it's a nice accent touch to showcase local artists.
So what made you want to buy the house and turn it into this space?
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy story, to be honest. I didn't plan on it. That's the God's honest truth. I literally read an article one morning. I'm a horror fan for life, been into the genre since I was 6 years old, and basically read an article, Buffalo Bill's house goes on the market on some horror site, that I follow. I was like, oh, that's cool, and I clicked on it, I read it, And next thing I know, I was like, wow, that would be really something to think about doing. And I mulled it over for about a day, and I called up the realtor, and then 3 days later I came for a tour, and within that week I put a bid in, and it unraveled like super fast. Like the whole process, start to finish, was a week, like pretty much 7 to 8 days tops.
Wow.
I was very fortunate enough that the bid was well received, and we lucked out, and that was it. And then to sign my name on the dotted line, and trying to get it up and running to share with the rest of the horror community.
Well, it is certainly a gorgeous house with beautiful views, and the property itself has some other amazing features. There's one more shot to line up. In the movie, there's this long pan over from the river and the railroad tracks where you see this RV, which I'm pretty sure is still the same one. It pans over and shows us the house. There are some slight changes, but overall, it looks pretty much the same. Oh, and this building that you can see when it pans actually has a really interesting history.
So the 3-car garage behind me, which is situated on Buffalo Bill's house property, was actually the town's general store of Perryopolis, Pennsylvania, in the village of Layton back in its day, dating back to the late 1800s and early 1900s. And it was also the post office. And the family that built this house in 1910 managed this store and also lived in it in the back until this house was actually built. So it's got quite a bit of history to it. It has been since renovated. On the other side, it's now just an active, regular old 3-car garage, but it's super cool to know that such a historically relevant part of the community still sits on the property today. Here we have the in-ground pool, which is situated at the house, which is awesome for the summer months. And behind me you have a vintage mid-century train caboose. It's a chassis system model, and I was told that the previous owners, who were here during the course of the filming of Silence of the Lambs, did put this in shortly thereafter, so I believe it's been here since the early to mid-90s, give or take. I was told their son was a big fan of trains, and they had the opportunity. We do have the active railway on the other side of the property, so if you want to come on in, we can explore the train. Okay, so here we are at the chassis system caboose. And it was at once fully functioning, and it had a nice little, eating car for the conductor. This wasn't a passenger vehicle. This is where the conductor would, handle his business for the day. And a little eating compartment, and 2 seats for them to keep an eye on what was going on up on the rail, with steps up here. So usually it was dual manned, from what I was told. I'm certainly not a train expert, but it certainly is pretty sweet. And obviously this was how they kept themselves warm while they were on the tracks all day. And even a little sinking commode, handle their affairs, handle their business while they were on the road, I guess. It's a pretty sweet little addition to Buffalo Bill's house, and everyone's welcome to explore it. And down the road, I do hope to renovate this into something more along the lines of a guest house or a pool house.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for showing us around.
Thank you, Kara. I appreciate being here. You guys coming out and checking us out. I just want everyone to know that Buffalo Bill's House is a small family-run business, really built by a family of horror-loving fans. And, we're working very hard to get it open, and we hope to be open in the next few months. But please check out our website, buffalobillshouse.com, and social media is Facebook and Instagram, at Buffalo Bill's House. I really appreciate you guys coming out. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, we put a lot of research and time into matching shots up and figuring out stuff, and this has been a breeze here because you already know everything. You have the passion. You have the passion behind this. You have the heart behind it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And it's not just some rich guy bought this house to try to turn a profit.
Definitely
this
not.
Has a heart. So.
No, thank you so much. That means the world to me saying that, and we're fans first and foremost ourselves. That's the truth, and we want to share with all the other Silence fans out there in the horror-loving community. So we hope you come down and check out Buffalo Bill's House in Perryopolis, Pennsylvania, real soon.
You have to let us know because we want to come back.
You will definitely you will get the word when we are open. I'll be hitting everyone up when it happens, and we're working around the clock to get that goal accomplished. So sooner than later, for sure, we'll have some big news to announce.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Very soon, we will all be able to put the lotion in the basket, get our tuck on, and spend the night inside Buffalo Bill's house. Make sure you check their website, buffalobillshouse.com, for the latest updates and information. And in the meantime, you can purchase their cool merch like t-shirts, pins, and these reusable tote bags by contacting them through social media or emailing shop@buffalobillshouse.com. Would you stay here? I'd stay here. I'd stay here so hard.